Who are you talking to?
I was talking to myself. I'm
Oh,
insane, don't you know?
Quit doing that.
No. Welcome to the Swine. Nah, I don't want
Welcome to the swine thing.
Welcome to the Swine Brothers Overdrive show, episode 2 for November 7th, 2017. What I was actually asking you was what the date was, and you didn't answer, so I had to answer myself.
There is no date.
You can get in contact with us by email at cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brother, and Twitter Swine Bro 666. It's the Elliot and Scott show. I know how much you love
Oh
that.
my God, it's so fucking homo.
No, it isn't. It's
Scott and Elliot. Oh, Gary and Larry.
Well, hey, don't knock Gary Rice and Larry. Gary Lee
Just
and Larry
fucking
Rice.
around.
But, well, yeah, you know what? You're right. It is gay when Scott's on top. When Scott's name is on top.
When I'm on top, huh?
Alphabetical order, motherfucker.
If I'm pitching, it's gay. If I'm receiving, it's not gay.
Oh God. I'm Elliot. He doesn't get to introduce himself.
It ain't gay if you're getting paid.
He's okay. So he's a 12-year-old,
basically.
Wait. Join us next week when we'll have an all new co-host.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so depressed that I'll just kill myself.
We said we were gonna do that. What was it? The day after we did the first one, and it wound up being 5 days. So hey, see.
Yeah, well, you know, we're professionals.
Well, hell, we're more professional than Swine Brothers. I keep saying we're going to do a show a week, and
we like to, say tomorrow, but then when you don't get it, we like to leave you in anticipation because we know our audience remembers us and looks forward to our new shows. The massive audience that we have.
I'm sorry. I couldn't.
That was real. No, I'm serious.
We don't have an audience.
Yeah, if I killed myself, like it could be done live on air and nobody would ever know it.
Oh, it would, because I'd tag the fuck out of it.
Just like, for real, someone killed themselves on my show, guys. Pay attention to me. Yes. Yeah, it would work.
Somebody wants the show.
For you. It would work. It would be a really good gift for you to kill myself on air, so that you can go, "Hey, everybody, check it out! Fucking dude just blew his brains out on my fucking show."
I think the worst thing we've ever done on air was Anarchist showed us his extra nipples.
Oh God, I'm glad
you weren't around for.
I am so glad that I wasn't around for that.
Jim was though.
I think the worst thing involving Anarcha was when he got emo as fuck about North Korea. And for some reason, nobody could get him to shut up. Like, nothing. Like, for whatever reason, that night he took charge of my show when I used to have a show.
Well, there were 2 times. One, he did it on my show, and then the second one he did. I was going to be there, but my throat was literally I think I talked a little too much, and my throat wasn't used to that.
He was apologizing profusely to me about that. And sorry, guys, this is a little inside baseball between us group of people that put these shows on. But he was apologizing to me up and down for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll give you one more chance. And so I let him do a show with just me and him. And he went right into that shit again. So I just ended the show and deleted the video.
Yeah, okay. I think that was it was the show with you, him, and Jim was the one I was supposed to be on, but I think my throat was inflamed because it was just I talked too much.
Go back and listen to our original car overdrive cast. Man, my fucking actually the second one's the more profane one. I destroyed my voice on that first episode.
Yeah, I think yes, that was.
If you're listening, go back and listen to those original episodes because we do have a lot of fun on here. I think it's entertaining shit. So.
We do have a lot of fun. It's a little less serious than Swine Brothers, which isn't serious at all.
we're I'm a dumbass. I am a 12-year-old at heart still.
I'm like Mr. Professional.
I don't give a shit if someone calls me edgy. Because I still laugh at fart jokes and your mom's so fat jokes.
See, my whole thing is
I still find monster trucks to be awesome.
Well,
You know?
but my whole thing is it annoys me that people call the thoughts I have in my head. I'm not trying to be edgy or anything, but but I've come to the fine.
You're upset that they're trying to dismiss you with a single word.
But you know what? I've come to the conclusion that, you know, if they can't comprehend it, if they can't comprehend that, oh my God, some guy actually thinks like this and hasn't been locked up, then fine, call me edgy. Yeah, whatever. I'm edgy. You're a little more shock value. I'm literally just saying what pops into my head.
Yeah.
And what pops into my head is
I do enjoy getting a rise out of people.
And what pops into my head is literally, I'm so sad my girlfriend broke up with me. Open a vein, do it. And I'm not trying to be edgy. It's just literally the first thing that pops into my head is, come on, kill yourself.
Since it's Swine Brothers Overdrive, you open a vein and then start your vehicle and just pedal to the metal for as long as you can take it.
Hopefully you pass out. Hopefully you pass out still with your foot on the floor.
That's the point. That is the point.
Freaking explosion.
Yeah. Well, if only cars really did that. Now, here's something.
No, you put fucking explosives in the back.
I'm adding a topic, and the finale is, you know, we talked about that. We'll get into it later.
I already mentioned in the about thing, so. But no, you put I already mentioned that in the description. You put explosives in the back, dude. So like when your car hits something, it just.
What you do is you take buckets of gasoline with you, and you prepare a tennis ball with strike anywhere match heads in it. You just fill it to the brim, and then whenever you have that wreck, that ball will go flying back there and blow up sky high. Yeah.
You also put a couple nail bombs in just for good measure.
Maybe take out a couple of innocent bystanders.
Yeah, a couple. I'm thinking like 20 or 30.
20 or 30? Where? Oh yeah, I'm used to living in Podunk.
Yeah, I live in Los Angeles.
I forget that there's a world. I'm insulated by trees and shit, and deer, and four-wheelers. All right, let's get on with this shit.
How long have we wasted talking?
I don't know, plenty of time.
So, this is the Swine Brothers Overdrive. This show is, of course, as professional as Swine Brothers.
We're going to talk about road trips.
Oh, now he's all professional. Fuck.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, come on, man. Let's talk about road trips.
Come on, man. Let's talk about tubes.
Come on, bro. Dude, you got to take tubes on your road trip. I mean, what's the point otherwise?
So road trips, we take about 4 or 5 or 6 of them. I think we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I would like to have more time to do them. So right now I'm in the dream phase. But I kind of had mentioned here on my notes that maybe we could share some of the best and some of the worst road trips we've ever been on. And well, I mean, maybe you could start with your best.
Well, I mean,
it doesn't have to actually be your best, just a good one.
Probably my best was when we went to Laguna Seca the first year.
First time you ever went?
2006 for the MotoGP race. And I was 12 and I got into an argument with one of my dad's friends about the difference between wings and spoilers. Keep in mind, I had no earthly idea what the hell I was talking about.
What did you say?
That wings and spoilers were different, and he said they're two aerodynamic devices. And now I understand, but they look different.
Yeah, so, but I would imagine an engineer would never call it a wing. They would call it what it is, which is an air spoiler. That would be the technical term.
No, they call them wings. They're
really?
called wings. Front and rear wings.
Shows what I know. I would think the engineer person would say spoiler.
Airfoil. No, a spoiler is different than a wing. I mean,
Yeah, but a wing, yeah, a spoiler is different because it wants to push. It is essentially an upside down wing.
But I mean, the way they act is a little bit different. But
Yeah,
they're
well,
essentially
one
the
pushes
same.
down and the other one provides lift.
Well,
Yeah,
the wing also. They essentially operate the same principle, but they just it's a little bit
they're,
different.
they're
Spoilers, the
backwards.
more lipped type thing, and the wing is
Oh,
more.
real quick before you go on with your story, I finally remembered a while back. I told you about that. There was a Lamborghini that did all this kind of really innovative airflow stuff. Remind me to show that to you because it's so cool, man. But anyways, go on with
Right.
your story.
But yeah, I mean, airfoils every now and then. But yes, generally they just call them wings. Everyone from because that's what they are. They're wings, but they're reverse. But their wings are made to work in reverse rather than having the car get lift. They actually it holds it down. It's
So how did
sort
this
of
argument?
a reverse airplane.
How did this argument end?
It didn't. We
It
just kind of
ended.
argued for 2 hours until the two people in the front wanted to shank us. Well, what the hell did I know?
So was it just the fact that you went to a race for the first time? Like, did you do anything else?
It wasn't. No. It was going to Laguna Seca first time. This
The
was
journey
not my
there?
first race.
Was the journey there as good as the actual destination?
It was whatever. But
Well, then that's not your best.
just the fact that I was going to a track that I'd always wanted to go to, that I'd heard, seen on television for so long. I mean, as far as the journey, I've never really had pleasant car journeys because.
Oh man, that's a shame.
I mean,
Because
well, I've had good ones.
That's what I have in mind when I think road trip. Is
See, when I think of road trip, I think of everything from going on the road to going home.
well, the journey there happens first, so I place that as the most important part is the journey there.
Well, I mean,
That's what I think of first.
I
anyway.
haven't. I mean, it's. I haven't had any many unpleasant ones, but I think that one was fun just because I was going someplace, and the first time we went to ALMS, I think was pretty exciting.
Can you think of a time where you had a road trip that the ride there was awesome?
2010, me and my miscreants went over to Humboldt. Oh man, I can't tell you some of the stuff we did.
Well, it sounds like it was a good time then. I mean, you could probably tell me in the audience, a thing or two.
Well, have you ever gone 120 miles an hour in a shitbox car at 3 o'clock in the morning with blasting Iron Maiden?
Not a shitbox. Well, actually, no, I take that back. But it's not really a shitbox car, but in a Toyota Camry.
No, this car was held together with spit wishes and
with spearmint.
Spearmint, man. It was
So,
held
like,
together with
okay, I'll go ahead and
crazy
share. I'll go ahead and share like what I consider one of my better road trips. I would have to imagine going to Chicago with my friend whose cousin was in charge of a band up there, like their road manager. The ride there was awesome because we knew that we were going to get backstage access, get to meet all these cool people, be on the inside and be able to hang out. And then keep in mind, I was 17, my friend's 18. So we're like little kids compared to everybody there.
Yes.
Well, the trip there was awesome. I mean, we got to listen to some great music. We smoked that tobacco, and just listened to great music the whole time.
Tobacco, yeah. Right, yeah.
Here's the funny part. Here's the really funny part. We imagined getting there and it being just a concert, just like an open air street festival concert, just a regular street festival. Well, little did we know it was Pride weekend.
So you fit right in there.
We get there. Fuck you. We get there And it's just the most flamboyant thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm 17 coming from Podunk, Indiana. You know, this is my first real experience by myself, you know, with a friend. And it's in a massive crowd of gay people. And some obnoxiously gay shit was happening all around me all the time, nonstop, and getting hit on, having to push guys away. And finally, this guy jumped on my friend's back and was wearing this S&M fucking weird shit. And this other gay dude came running over there and fucking decked that S&M guy. Just fucking destroyed him. And he goes, "It's fucking people like you who ruin us, man, who make us, who destroy our public image." And the guy who got hit says, "Hey, man, we're on the same team, man, same team." He's like, "No, here's the difference. You're a fucking faggot. I'm just gay." That was so awesome. And I hung out with that dude for a while. Because he was just a dude who happened to be gay. He was just another bro, but he just happened to be gay.
It's never been interesting. I mean, 300 miles can actually pass quickly if you have great conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we listen to music, have good talks, you know.
We never listen to music, actually. Well, rarely.
Yeah, it just depends. If there's a lull in the conversation, that's when the music goes.
We go to audiobooks.
Audiobooks are another good option. I find audiobooks to be better when it's just me alone. If there's company with me, I kind of get distracted and I can't really follow along as good for some reason. I don't know why. It's just I'm weird like that.
Yes, you are. But as far as like you know, great road. I mean, there've been a lot that were pleasant, and I enjoy, you know, going places or whatever. I enjoy, you know, driving.
You know, I mean,
like that.
Both of our stories. I mean, I know I said that I prefer the journey there, but we both kind of elaborated more on the destination.
Well, what is the journey? It's driving in a car for a long time.
Driving in a car for a long time.
But
you know,
unless your car breaks down and you go on this wild adventure,
right? Maybe, you know, this is a topic that I really want to kind of sit down and maybe write some journals about it and really get to think about what makes a road trip good. Like,
I think it's also the destination, because you're going somewhere different. You're going somewhere. You're doing something, you know. And I remember when we went to the American Le Mans Series race. I think it was the first year, and we went down to the autograph session. And I had a shirt that was the Champ Car World Series. It was my favorite series. It was basically open wheel cars, kind of basically what IndyCar is now, only better, because it was. And I remember we got in line for a guy named Paul Gentilozzi, who's a 31-time winner in the Trans Am Series, who also happened to co-own Champ Car. Now, Champ Car folded 2 years ago. So I'm here thinking, how's he going to react? And he just looks and goes, "Champ Car? Yeah, I have a couple shirts like that. It only cost me $200 million.
Wow.
Because he was basically...
Did he own the league?
He was part of the co-owners, and he was screwed over by the two guys who basically merged the series in with the IRL. You know,
what a bitch.
The Indian. So I love his response though.
If someone told me they lost $200 million, like just decided to tell me that, that's heartbreaking, man. That's the kind of shit people die and kill themselves over, and I would just be like, "Man, I'm sorry, man. Can I buy you a beer?"
he was still. I mean, he still owns a race team and stuff, and you know, I've always respected Paul Gentilozzi. He started out racing in HRA Pro Stocks, and he's you know, like I said, he's the winningest driver in Trans Am.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to kind of segue into worst, and in a weird way, you know, while it's happening, it sucks. But now that I can tell the story, it ends up sounding like the best, because
my worst road
it's
trip story?
about the actual road trip. What?
if you wish to know my worst road trip story, I've mentioned it elsewhere on this archive. I think it's one of the really early episodes. You can find it later.
Well, okay. I'm going to go ahead and tell my worst. And this was a much more simple. Me and two other buddies of mine wanted to go fishing. And this is, again, being teenagers. We loaded up our fishing poles, tackle box, lunch, drinks, all of that.
What kind of teenagers fish?
Podunk, Indiana teenagers.
Well, when we said fishing, we really meant like smoking crack, you know.
Oh, smoking crack? Yeah, we did that too. We get into a Jeep Cherokee, the kind where you can pull the windshield wiper tube, the fucking tube, out of the back window, and it'll spray backwards onto other people's car. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
whereas my cousin would do, here's my turbo boost, and he'd push the button.
Until one of the guys like steps out with a fucking machine gun. The fuck do you do?
Yeah. And around here, that is a possibility. Anyways, I'm just and keep in mind, Southern Indiana, the landscape and the scenery is fucking drop dead gorgeous around here. So I roll my window down. We're driving out to the lake. I'm enjoying the scenery, just soaking it all in. And in front of me in the passenger seat is my buddy Brody. All right. And this kid, great kid, awesome to be around, but he's disgusting. He's just disgusting. So, I mean, I hear something I'm used to hearing from him, which is hawking a loogie up, you know. You know, I'm over exaggerating, but still, he's hawking this loogie up, and I'm not thinking anything. Well, he rolls his window down and lets that sucker loose, and it comes right back around the B pillar through my window and just smacks in the back of my throat. Just kerplunk. And instead of reacting like with an emotion, I just froze because I had no choice. Like, it's swallowed from just the physics of it. It just went down my throat.
Yeah.
And a little bit like hit my, like, was dangling on my cheeks a little bit too. This thing was a massive green, brown, just disgusting Brody booger.
Yeah, sounds like some of the shows I've seen where people used to spit on people, and my friend did a scream for one of his songs, and one of the guys hawked it right in his mouth.
Oh. Yeah, but here's another funny part. I told my cousin who was driving, dude, just pull over. And again, no emotion really. Just I need to figure out my life right now. And he pulls over. I just get out and I sit down on the side of the road, and I'm just staring off again, like, what is the meaning of this? You know, just kind of contemplating everything. Like, is my existence really worth this? But anyways, you know,
unfortunately, he decided it was. Unfortunately, he decided it was worth this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't kill myself yet. But, you know, fishing, you know, you get out on the lake and you catch a few bluegill or bass, and it's a good time. Cook them up, eat them. Yum, yum. That's some good shit. I love doing that kind of shit. I need to get back into doing shit like that.
I get bored.
Nah, not if you're with the right people, man. Honestly.
I can interview with the right people. I mean, not here. I can't.
Oh man, don't you want to get some like Hollywood type to go with you?
No,
they'd be like
family.
They'd be like, don't you care about the fish? I mean, you're hurting them.
Whereas my family would just argue and listen to country music.
Quick sidebar here: isn't it going to be fun watching Hollywood just crumble right before our eyes?
Well, it's survived scandals before, from Fatty Arbuckle to Roman Polanski.
I know it won't be permanent, but it'll do some damage.
I remember. Scott, I remember when I was like you.
What it'll do, ultimately, is create space for younger people and just new names. Basically, is what it'll do. It won't happen until a name like Spielberg or Ridley Scott, something like that, some name like that, Quentin Tarantino. If something like that hit,
but Roman Polanski was charged.
Roman Polanski's a big name,
he
but
still makes movies.
He's not as recognized as Spielberg though.
But you know what I mean, though. It's like he was charged with that, and he still makes movies.
I know that. That fucker that's in the news now, he's facing some fucking just. He's going to prison, basically, if his charges hold up.
But the thing is, so you get new guys and they decide to be the same fuck ups, because that's what happens when you have this, massive amount of money and no self control.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost by very nature of that industry that's going to happen, right? Hey, hot chick, you want to be in my movie?
Well, yeah, that was. I mean, I'm surprised. I love that people are surprised by it. What was it? What did Marilyn Monroe say?
Isn't that weird?
What did Marilyn Monroe say after she got her big break? I don't have to suck any more Jewish cock anymore.
Yeah. Or when people, even ESPN was shocked at the Louisville Cardinals basketball coach.
Say it right, Scott. Shocked.
Huh? Oh, shocked. I tell you, I don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you. Jesus.
I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. But anyways, yeah, people were like, "Oh my goodness!"
But emphasis on the word
college basketball. I know this is what happens. Don't you idiots know?
But I mean, I saw a status from a girl who's like, "Well, I'm not going to Hollywood," because she wanted to be like an actress. And she's like, "I'm not going to Hollywood because now that I know that happens, I'm like, where the hell have you been? It's the world's worst kept secret."
Yeah, right. And it's not like you have to. Like, you can have a healthy career in media without going mainstream. You can do the indie scene. You're not going to make 6 figures a second like Tom Cruise does.
Yeah, but there's probably a lot of shit in the indie scene. I mean, basically, just do your own thing.
Oh, I'm sure there is, but I'm just trying to say, like, just because there's all these scandals doesn't mean you have to be part of them. You can always say no.
I just think it's hilarious that the scandals are coming to light after 60 years of everyone knowing this was happening. Everyone, it's like, oh yeah, that's. I mean,
it's an open secret.
I mean, and Hollywood attracts the type of people who would not only do this, it
attracts the kind of introverted people who never got attention growing up, who now have a lot of money and power and influence over the industry, and now it's their turn.
And it'll attract the people who will do anything to make it, including
that too. That was another thing. A chick on Rogan's podcast was saying, like, what we're hearing now is the chicks who said no. Just wait until it comes out who said yes to this guy. Because a lot of it was consensual.
Yeah, I mean,
but anyways, we're here to talk about cars.
See. I have a thing. Hey, you want to be in? You want to be on my show? Give me coffee. If you don't give me coffee, you're not on my fucking.
It better be the goddamn best fucking cup of fucking coffee that comes out of that fucking coffee tube that's ever come out of that tube.
It's ever been shot out of a coffee tube.
That tube has delivered more coffee than any other fucking tube I know of. So your job is on the line if it's not the greatest coffee that's ever come out of that fucking tube. You fucking moke. You want to be in my movie?
I've ever been shot out of a coffee tube.
Yeah. Anyways, what about a dream road trip? Is there somewhere that you would love to hop in, any car and go?
Let me think. From here, I would go to Daytona in a 911.
In a 911, okay, fair enough.
Because
so you and one other person,
me and I don't know, girlfriend or something.
Right, perfect car for that.
See, because the thing about Grand Touring cars, like they're high performance cars and they're sporty and they're expensive, but they can also go far. They're not just like the Pagani Zonda, which will go 5 minutes and then either break down or run out of gasoline.
Yeah.
These cars are actually made to go long distances.
I would. I don't know. Destination wise, it's not just the legalization of pot, but I've always wanted to go to Colorado. And then that's not like a huge drive. It's a really far drive for me from Indiana, but I've always wanted to see the Rocky Mountains. I've been to the Smoky Mountains plenty of times and I love it. And I just want to see, places like Aspen and other nice places like that, just see it, and then be able to actually, get in a helicopter and take a tour of the mountains and shit. But I would do that if I had the money. It would be done in a Aston Martin DB9 or DB7 or even a Vanquish. I don't know, just whatever. Honestly, out of those three.
Another road trip. I would go to Indiana just to kill Scott.
Just to kill Scott. Yes, this is a mission, and you would do so. What kind of car would you bring?
What car would I bring?
Think about the mission.
Remember that Lamborghini, the Rambo Lambo?
Yes, hell yeah, that's a great pick. That is a great pick. Oh, the only thing about it is it's very conspicuous.
And it looks ungainly as fuck.
Yeah, it looks like that is being pulled over. that thing is just being pulled over. You murdered someone, didn't you, sir?
Not yet.
And it's such a cool, unique thing, too, that the cop would be like, oh, that's fine. Go right on ahead. We just kind of wanted to check out your car. Good luck with the body. Okay, my road trip to LA to kill Elliot, I'd just get your run-of-the-mill, Suburban, something, like a big SUV from the 80s, like the way that Chevy Blazers used to be, the huge fucking SUVs, or a Ford Bronco, something like that would be perfect. And just murder him and, dispose of the body. Yeah. Is Elliot still there? You muted yourself, you dumbass. Oh, great. Now I have to fly this fucking ship solo because Elliot's an idiot. Anyways.
No, I had to unplug it and replug it in.
Stupid fuck.
I don't even get a fucking cool car to die in.
Nope. No. Hey, you know what, though? Actually, honestly, those early SUVs, the two-seater ones.
Okay.
With the big V8s and shit, those things were cool.
A Bronco?
Yes. Those things were cool.
Harvester Scout or an old Chevy Blazer. You do that and I'm fine.
What's that?
Either a Bronco, one of those International Harvester Scouts, or an old Chevy Blazer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I gave you the damn Lambo.
I have it resto modded too, so that it was all badass. Looked old, but had modern underpinnings, so that it was actually badass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what about a road trip in one of those to the UP?
I was just about to say that.
Oh God!
No, I'm waiting.
Just let me say to the audience right now, anyone out there who appreciates good comedy, subtle yet on the nose, or who just, if you liked the movie Fargo because of the funny accent and stuff like that, and some of the clever lines in there, you have got to see what is it? Escanaba in the Moonlight. It is so good.
And you got to hear the band The Yoopers.
The Yoopers, hey?
It's really hard to do the accent because it's not Canadian. Elliot? It's Canadian mixed with Swedish.
Hey, Elliot, do a little A little heavy on the sap there. I love that. If a man can't look another man in the hairy eyeball and tell him he's heavy on the sap, he ain't not so much of a man, is he?
One of my favorite lines from the Youpers, from one of their songs. I think we're lost. Well, why do you say that? I've been lost before, and this is what it looks like.
Yes, yes. Anything that's free in life is worth saving up for.
But it's really hard to do because it's the first time I ever heard it was that song "My Car Won't Go" that I showed you.
Yeah,
and I thought they were Canadian, and I was like, and then I actually heard the accent a little more closely. It was like, it's and I actually have a friend from the UP, Laura, watching this. Hello, it's Canadian mixed with Scandinavian, like Finnish or Swedish.
It is an accent that you can try to mimic, but I think you would actually have to sit down and really practice before you could hit it.
Scroll.
Yeah, you can't really just do it. You have to really try.
It's very nuanced and very, because like I said, it's not just Canadian. It's not hi. It's
Escanaba in the moonlight, though, people. It is just almost. It's almost perfect. And Jeff Daniels, you know the guy Harry from Dumb and Dumber. Anyways, he wrote, directed, and produced that motherfucker. And the other scene where he's doing the fucking ritual. Oh my god! Hey, get that!
It's one of those movies where if you are actually in the UP and you mention it to someone, you'll know who has a sense of humor and who doesn't.
Yeah, I can imagine some people being offended, but those people would be weaklings in my estimation. Because some of it was on the nose, but come on.
And like, it's great. I mean, and check out
from what I can tell, a lot of the people up there understand that they have a goofy accent and have all these funny little clever little lines and stuff.
They have an interesting culture. I mean, they're basically Midwestern hicks. They like
who happen to live in the
wheels.
Yes. I was watching a cooking show, and one of those big famous chefs, he's a red-headed guy, I don't remember his name, fuck him. But anyways, he was saying that the food up there is excellent, just excellent. Any kind of mom and pop shop you go to where you get food off the fucking land and then they cook it for you, all excellent.
I'll definitely have to visit, especially. I mean, and they have
you know what? I think we just found our dream road trip, dude.
Well, I mean, sure. I would go to the UP to watch the I-500, which is a 500-mile snowmobile race.
Snowmobile. How about this? We can both fly to Daytona. Okay.
Yeah.
Meet up. We can rent. We can both get we can each get our own car. You rent a Porsche 911 Turbo. Or you can get an even more badass one. Just make sure you have good insurance. And I'll get my Aston Martin. And we'll get CB radios. And I'll hire you a driver.
No, I'll bring one of my girlfriends or something.
Yeah, there you go. And then we drive to Colorado. Well, we do what you want to do in Daytona.
Well, watch the 500, obviously.
And then we drive to Colorado, do the Colorado thing. And then we drive to fucking the UP, man. That is a month-long ordeal.
The thing that would suck about CB radios is we'd probably start playing with them, and then whoever I'm with would get so pissed. Whoever I'm with would get so pissed off, she'd just leave me on the side of the road and like, hey, where's Elliot? He kept fucking playing with the CB radio, and I just left him.
Can you imagine what a girlfriend would think about listening to us two the whole time? Oh, I wouldn't blame her for leaving either of us on the side of the fucking road.
Then again, the ones I know probably join in.
That's always a good thing. That's always a plus.
But just a little bit about the I-500, okay? It's 500 laps, so 500 miles. Snowmobile! It's a 500-mile snowmobile race, 500 laps. It's a 1-mile oval. The race takes about 8 hours to complete.
It's just an oval?
Yes.
How long?
And Scott, someone has actually won the race 4 times solo.
How long is it again?
About 8 hours.
No. I mean mileage. Just one
500.
circuit.
Well, 1 mile.
1 mile? Oh my God. Yeah. 8 hours to complete that motherfucker.
Well, because snowmobiles aren't the fastest, and
Yeah, you're going
it's done
probably
like
at tops 100.
it's done, and also there's yellows, and it's done like the Indy 500 where there's like 3 rows of 11 rows of 3 and things like that.
Oh,
It's called
wow.
the International 500. It is on live stream if you want to watch a couple minutes of it when it happens.
When does it happen?
January. I'll let you know.
All right, we'll do that. That should be a Swine Brothers Overdrive episode. We should do that.
Just watching it.
Yeah, just watch it.
I saw something that we need to watch together, although it's whenever you have a lot of time on your hands.
Okay, what is it?
Have you ever seen figure 8 racing?
Yes.
How about a 3-hour figure 8 race?
Okay, we'll do it. Hey, that's something we should we should do monthly special events where we watch motorsports and just commentate and talk and we're sitting around drinking beers in the living room watching racing.
I haven't told you the full story about this yet.
Okay.
It's at the Indianapolis Speedrome, where I don't have to tell you where that is. It's a little 1/5 mile oval in Indy. So there's 28 cars that start the race. Okay.
Okay.
Now there were 18 alternates, which were basically. So what happens is if a car leaves the race, they will put another car in its place. Hundreds of laps down sometimes, but it happens.
Yeah,
but the thing is, once a car leaves, it can rejoin. So you can have. Well, I think I saw at one time 36 cars on a mile track doing figure 8.
That would be amazing.
Dude.
Even if it ended up getting really slow, it would be amazing. Like, dude,
it is on YouTube. You have to watch it.
Fucking YouTube.
I mean, it is literally the most insane thing I've ever seen. It's
fucking
3 hours.
moke. Are you a fucking moke?
Yes, I'm a fucking moke.
No, you ain't no fucking moke.
The race.
Hey,
what?
You fucking moke.
Minutes. Yes. Okay. Stop. They race like 20 minutes, right? It's a little 3 hours.
Do they just do heats and shit over and over?
It is one long race.
Oh wow, that's even better.
Long. And it is.
I can imagine what it's like if your car ends up going out. I can only imagine what the garage must be like in an event like that.
Well, I mean,
just scrambling to fix the fucking thing that's been
because
demo derby basically.
Well, yeah, because okay, let's say you lose 12 laps. It's such an odd race that you can get those 12 laps back pretty easily.
It's like Mario Kart where you can throw the fucking turtle shell. Now,
there are a lot of yellow flags, but they're really quick yellow flags. So it's but
is it basically just to get debris out of the way? I mean,
it's when cars stack up, basically. Because you've seen they have intersections and shit, and a lot of times they'll have like cars blocking. And a couple times, I'm not going to spoil the race or anything, but I've seen figure 8 racing where cars kind of go up on top of each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that in demo derbies for sure.
Oh man, we have to watch it together. Like I said, it's 3 hours. The video is about 4 hours.
That's a fun motorsport event. Is just go to a local fairground during a regional kind of festival of any kind, and watch a fucking demo derby. Yes, you're surrounded by hicks, but it's still just so much fucking fun. Like, I'm
more into this than demo derby because this is actually like a legitimate race.
I understand.
I haven't seen demolition derby racing before, where you don't just crack the cars, but you also.
Yeah, I've seen that where it's got like a big open circle.
Yeah, but so.
What I like about demo derbies, just real quick, is how creative some of these people are, chopping up an old car and making it into something that should win a race. And the best formula I've seen are really old, huge station wagons.
Yeah.
And just keep reversing Just go in reverse.
Although I saw a Vega win once.
A Vega, really? You know, it would be great is to re-weld a proper chassis and frame for a Pinto and take it out there.
Vega got the shit kicked out of it, but it was still going.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point behind what I said about the wagon is because if you keep just reversing into people, you should be fine.
I have the idea. Have you ever seen that Top Gear episode where Clarkson tried to destroy a Toyota pickup truck and it just kept running?
Yeah,
the Hilux.
Yeah, dropped it from the.
So you get a Toyota Hilux.
Yeah, yeah.
I love Toyota trucks.
You could probably even use a fucking Camry, to be honest. Toyotas and Hondas are just.
Yeah, but why would you want to use a Camry?
I know. Yeah, it's too boring. You have to use some kind of big metal thing.
I mean, there's something honorable about Hiluxes getting, but a Camry, I would only use it like if I was like just gonna blow it up.
You know what? Though when I got this car of mine, a few days later, I was like, I really should have just waited and saved up so that I could buy a mid '90s Honda or Toyota. Because those things are so good.
How far is Indianapolis from your home?
3 hours.
I was gonna say you need to go to that race one. I know it's a long way, and I know but you'll understand why I say.
Maybe someday. Be a good little road trip for me and whoever.
It's probably easier to get into than the 500 anyway. Yeah.
I've only ever been to time trials at 500.
I've wanted to go so bad. Even like Tony Stewart, who grew up in Columbus, was talking about he would basically cut school and run to the speedway to watch time trials.
You basically have to get tickets. You basically have to log in and have your finger on the purchase button and immediately get them.
Or eBay.
Yeah, but then you're getting boned.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
But anyways,
for this, I mean, there's it's packed, but I'll show you some. I'll show you some highlights of it. But oh god, I mean, figure eight racing is fun, but 3 hours of it, it's like I'm surprised no one had a heart attack.
That's endurance shit right there. That's you better have a goddamn good pit crew kind of shit right there.
Well, not even a good pit crew. You better have a car that can last.
That's true, and a talented driver who can avoid accidents,
or at least who can make the best of accidents.
Yes, yes.
In this type of racing,
did you know insurance companies will very rarely refer to it as an accident. They refer to them as collisions. Like that legalese.
For years. Yeah, I know.
Silly. All right. Well, we're talking about motorsports. That's a good segue into our next topic here. Now, and Elliot kind of wanted to talk about. There's this notion overseas of Europe looking down on us Americans, and to a large degree, it's warranted. However, go ahead, Elliot.
Well, okay. So people talk about how NASCAR is just. Now, I make fun of NASCAR as much as the next person, probably even more.
Turn left, 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 left,
Scott.
Left, left.
Shut the fuck up.
Left. Okay.
Scott? No. Okay. Bad boy.
No. Okay. Left. Sorry.
Tube.
Okay. Left into the tube.
So I mean, there's this whole notion that the NASCAR is barbaric, and to an extent, I mean, I have vivid memories of this year watching the Xfinity race at Talladega, and seeing people in the infield jump with joy when there was a wreck happening. Well, but people think, well, NASCAR is just barbaric, and us Brits don't have that. Scott, look up Banger Racing. Banger Racing.
Here, let me screen share real quick. Let me look it up. Do you want me to look up like a video?
Yeah, sure. Video. Banger Racing. Banger.
Banger Racing gone wrong. Just or the best of Banger Racing. That's what.
Sure.
Give me a second.
Because you need to see these cars. This is the high class Brits, by the way. I mean, I love, you know.
Here we go.
So what do you see?
All right. I'm going to mute the video. These are awesome, though. I mean, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of Demo Derby.
Except for this is actually a race.
I love that, though. How creative they are. And
yeah. I'm not saying
wow. That freaking car bit it. Oh, yes. Pile up. Oh,
I'm not saying they're not fun.
This is as American as it gets right here.
Yeah.
Point,
American as
American totally
as
proven.
Actually, Scott, it's not American.
No, I understand. That's the point. These are the Brits.
This is what you do if you're a low class like Brit.
Oh, fuck. Hell yeah, why not? You know? You got shit going on everywhere else. Why not buy an old piece of shit, throw a fucking truck engine in it, and
no, they're not truck engines. They're normal engines.
I'm just saying.
If you want that, like hot rod racing.
Yeah, do hot rod racing. But why not create a hot rodded banger car?
I'm saying you're going to look that up next.
What are we looking at? All right, we've seen enough.
Hot rod racing.
Hot rod racing? Oh,
yes,
well, I mean.
And the last one is Briscoe stock cars.
Hot rod racing. I'm going to
UK.
UK. Okay. We got National Hot Rods World. Hot Rod Racing Ipswich.
Yeah.
Let's do that one. That's from this one's from the 70s.
Yeah, but it's basically the same principle.
Okay, so these are old big metal cars, I'm assuming with engine swaps.
No, actually most of the time it's just modified 4-cylinders.
Oh, wow.
You can get a lot of power out of 4-cylinders.
You can indeed, and that is a lesson American manufacturers really need to listen to, except for the fact that they will never do that because that's less profit for them.
You know how much the Japanese Super GT cars, the racing cars, get out of their most powerful class? 4
I imagine
cylinders?
it's obnoxious.
600.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Japanese, man, they might not be good at styling their vehicles, but in terms of engineering them,
I don't think they put a lot of effort into style. But then again, I've seen some good Japanese styles. So,
well, my favorite style is the old Skyline.
Yeah.
Not the GTR, the old Skyline, and then before that, the God damn it! Now I'm forgetting the name of it.
The car.
I'm an idiot. A car. A Japanese car that I'll think of later once we're off air.
Of course, we have Reliant Robin Racing.
There's a is that what we're gonna look up next?
Yes, Reliant Robin Racing. Because you've seen them on Top Gear, but
for the uninitiated, like if you don't know anything about cars, what you're about to see is gonna make you chuckle. Reliant Robin Racing, baby.
Racing.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
Racing. We're racing these things. Okay, so if any of you can notice, these cars are going on 3 wheels.
No, I'll say it right.
2 in the rear, 1 in the front.
They got 3 fucking wheels, man.
that dude's Robin completely disintegrated, and he's just bouncing. He could have easily died. Easily.
If you notice, most of the time they're on 2 wheels because that's basically how you drive them.
Whoa. Dude got some major air. And he's still rolling. That's awesome. Oh, he did that on purpose. This is the craziest one I've seen so far. Dude has 2x4s in the back of his car. What the fuck? You trying to kill somebody?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm anticipating something awesome happening here. Long kind of establishing shot here. Okay, where's the insanity at? Where's the insanity? All right, none there. All right, so hopefully that gave you an idea. I think Elliot has proven his point. that.
No. One more to go, and it's the big one.
Okay, tell me.
Brisca F1 stock car. Now,
Brisca
you hear
F1
stock car, and you think, oh, these are NASCAR type.
Oh my God! Hideous.
Oh, I love them.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not. I can't exactly say that yet.
Yes, they're hideous, and that's the point. They're supposed to be hideous.
It is a cross between a sprint car here in the U.S.
and a long track.
And I don't go-kart. I mean, just big.
It has a little bit of a body. It has a little bit of a body shell on it.
I like how their posture is that of a go-kart.
But see, these cars started like back in the 50s. They were actually like NASCAR style stock cars, and look how they've evolved.
I mean, this is great. This kind of racing is great, just down and dirty.
But like, because it's funny that they still call them stock cars. Like whenever I mention them to Americans, like they raced they actually did have a NASCAR European series. They still do. Actually, no, wait. Okay, wait, they still do.
That's even more barbaric than NASCAR.
But they had a NASCAR series in Britain that only raced at Rockingham.
What kind of engines are we talking about?
Can I finish my story here?
No, that's why I interrupted you.
They lost their NASCAR sanctioning body, and they had to call it ASCAR. I shit you not.
ASCAR.
There is a NASCAR Wheel and Euro series that mainly races on road courses and ovals.
I love that.
It's really interesting. I like engines. Mostly old Chevy engines making about 750 horsepower.
I like that they're kind of phallic shaped too. They're kind of like a dick and balls going down the road.
If you think that's a foul, that's deformed.
Well, yeah, but it's still it's elongated and it has a bulge at one end. It's like a bell end.
I guess.
So, what type of engines are these running?
I told you.
I didn't hear you.
Chevy engines mostly. 750 horsepower.
V8, V6.
Yeah, V8s.
V8s. Okay, that's awesome. So, I wonder, Jeremy Clarkson is someone I really admire, but at the same time, he acts like he is so romanticized British motorsports and manufacturing that
he knows these. Top Gear's done shit about stock car racing before.
Yeah, but he gives a voice to that idea that American motorsports is all bullshit. And I don't like NASCAR that much, but we also have monster trucks, which is just fucking hilarious fun. We also have we have our outlaws and sprint cars. We have drag racing, which is awesome. We have what else do we have that's awesome? That's uniquely American.
I think. I think in NASCAR. My problem with NASCAR is just the fan base. What they're trying to do to change to adopt to the millennials by having like stage racing and playoffs. I hate the name playoffs. There is racing.
It doesn't. Yeah, playoff is not. No,
I mean
it's a national cup or something.
Well, no. It's a race. It's a race. They're not playing.
Yeah, but you call it something like the title or the cup or
just the championship.
The championship race.
We have a lot of really good
fucking playoff.
Sprints and midgets. We have Indy cars. We have fucking.
I don't like the idea of a tournament.
We have NASCAR. We have a lot of. I mean, and it takes a lot to drive those stock cars. It's more than just turn. I mean,
yeah. When I saw Richard Hammond drive one, and they had the cameras inside the car and showing how actually difficult it is to keep that thing going straight, like it looked like it was a bitch.
And that's with power steer. One of my favorite NASCAR races is there was a guy named Ricky Rudd. Okay, so first of all, it's a really short track. It's about a half mile along, which means they're turning left every 5 or 6 seconds, 10 seconds. It's a 500 lap race, and it's hot. When I say hot, I mean HOT. And Ricky Rudd's car had no power steering. Now, it is easier to drive a car that doesn't have power steering than a car that does have power steering and loses it, as you know.
Yeah.
and he won that race.
That's amazing.
He won in over 100-degree weather, turning left every and this is a paperclip shaped track, and he won that race with no power steering. That's still one of my favorite NASCAR races, just because it really is, man versus the fucking
man versus machine versus the asphalt.
Speaking of drag racing, the last NHRA drag racing race of the year is Sunday at Pomona, California.
Yeah, I just now recently got into drag racing, and there was like I have a little bit more respect for NASCAR after seeing Hammond's video, but I still don't like watching it. I get bored by NASCAR. But when it comes to drag racing, when I learned how difficult it was to launch those things off the line, and then that's where the race is won or lost.
I'm going to show you an old NASCAR race that's going to completely change your tune. One of these days, one of these months, we're gonna watch an old NASCAR race.
Yeah, but I don't have it in me to watch those type of cars just go in ovals. I can watch open wheel go in ovals because there's a much more element of finesse and technique, and you can tell that these people are highly skilled, much more highly skilled than most driving.
Oh, trust me, I'm going to find an old NASCAR race for you.
I'm sure you'll find something that I'll enjoy, but I'm not going to get into NASCAR.
Never say never. And I'm going to find a motorcycle race.
Motorcycles. I actually don't mind the ones where they're going around the dirt. They don't have any brakes.
Which is more dangerous than road racing.
It's just such a silly concept that I like it.
And I'm going to find an old IndyCar race where they changed the lead 80,000 times.
Were they what?
They passed for the lead. I think I saw one with 73 lead changes.
Oh, wow. That's enormous.
Yeah. So don't worry.
The one we watched, I can remember maybe 3 or 4.
Oh, there were more than that. Actually, let me just take a look here.
That was a fun race, too. Just the way that rookie won was...
He won a race this year, by the way.
Good for him, man.
There was a race.
That can be either the best thing that happens to a rookie or the worst thing that happens to a rookie, is winning the 500 during your rookie season, because now the pressure's on. Like, it's not only on, it's on early in your career. And probably at a point in your career where you're not exactly...
There were 54 lead changes.
Oh, and the one we watched?
Yeah.
Does that count someone who's been in the lead, loses the lead, and then gets it back?
It counts every lead at the start. It only counts lead changes at the start-finish line. If, you have
to win that lap?
Basically.
Okay.
So, not just the 500, but a rookie winning any race. There was a guy named Jamie McMurray in NASCAR who won his second Cup race at Charlotte in 2002. Mm-hmm. And that was, I think, the worst thing that could happen to him, because Ganassi was on a great year. He was subbing for Sterling Marlin, who had led the championship for months and then broke his back in a wreck at Kansas. But Chip Ganassi was and for the next several years, up until from 2002 up until this year, Ganassi Racing really struggled. He won 6 more races.
I don't think
he was never
anything to do with their skill level. It has to do with all the now we got press and media to do, and I just created this name for myself and I have to live up to it. That's all that extemporaneous shit.
It's more than that. It's Ganassi struggled for years. They like I said, McMurray won 6 more races from 2002 till today, which isn't that great. But the cars he was in were occasional top 10 running cars. But it created such a big, wow, he's gonna be the next Jeff Gordon, and it didn't happen. He's been, I mean, this year Ganassi's finally showing the promise that they should have been showing 20 years ago.
But on the other hand, this could happen to a rookie and just totally launch them into the stratosphere. Well, that happens too. That's more rare, I'm sure. But
look at Jimmy Johnson. He won. I was there when he won his first ever race at California in 2002, and he's just is he
still a big name? I don't.
He's won 83 races and 7 championships.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow, what's the record for championships?
He's tied with Jeff Gordon, or I'm sorry, with Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty for 7. That's the record.
That's amazing.
If he wins another one, he'll be the all-time record holder.
Which he probably will. It sounds like.
As far as on the all-time win list, let me do some math here. He's tied for 6 on the all-time win list.
Wow.
And Jeff Gordon. It took Jeff Gordon a full year to win his first race. He didn't do much of anything his first year. He won a qualifying race, but
people talk shit about Jeff Gordon because of his looks and his manner, the way he is. But But I mean, I'm not a NASCAR guy, but I mean, the results speak for themselves. I mean,
yeah, he can drive. I'm just not a fan.
I'm, right, exactly. And any other sport that I've ever watched, like in the NFL, for example, Tom Brady is the quarterback for the New England Patriots, who everybody hates. People say, I hope someone kills him. I hope he dies. It's like, guys, he's just good. Like, get over it.
No, he was a cheater.
Yeah, but he's still fucking good.
Well, it's just like, and my whole thing about the whole cheating thing in football, how many teams do you think cheat? How many teams do you think try to bend the rules? Every one. But here's
the thing about that Deflategate thing. Tom Brady does not need to cheat to win, which is why it was so disappointing for sports fans. But just get over it. He's just that good. I mean, results speak for themselves once again. And again, I'm not an NFL guy.
One of the races we're watching, not to interrupt but just to bring it back to NASCAR or to racing, is the 2017 IndyCar race at Pocono. Let me just give you some statistics here.
Listening.
As soon as I find the page.
Snowmobile.
Shut up, Scott. Yes. They do like snowcross.
I like that. I think it's somewhere in the like Sweden or Norway where they do the ice racing.
Let's see. Yeah, hang on a second. Lead changes 42 at Pocono, which is, look up Pocono Raceway and tell me if that's the weirdest looking track you've ever seen.
It's the triangle one, right?
Yes, it is. I love it.
Yeah.
With that huge front straightaway.
Mm-hmm.
Or the back straightaway, it's ginormous. It's not just a triangle; it's an oddly proportioned triangle.
Yeah.
The 3 turns are actually modeled after 3 different tracks. Turn 1 is modeled after the old track at Trenton, New Jersey. Turn 2 is modeled after some track called Indianapolis. Never heard of it. And turn 3 is modeled off the old Milwaukee Mile.
I just think it's funny that New Jersey had a racetrack.
It was a great little track, Trenton. It was designed by a guy named Roger Ward, who's a 2-time Indy 500 winner. Basically, his ultimate IndyCar race. And people go, well, NASCAR racing's so boring at Pocono. I was like, yeah, it wasn't. It was built for IndyCars, not NASCAR. NASCAR needs banking and shit.
Yeah.
It was not built for NASCAR.
Yeah.
The only IndyCar left in '89 was because basically the track was bumpy. They still had fucking traffic rails instead of actual guardrails, and
oh shit,
they didn't want to. Those are bad wreck at Pocono.
I mean, you're racing an F1 car with regular traffic rails. Fuck you. Hell no.
There was a bad wreck at Pocono in 2002. The NASCAR Steve Park pretty much finished off those traffic rails, and they finally got rid of those.
Thank goodness.
But
That's ridiculous.
And IndyCar came back in 2013, and the Justin Wilson was killed in a wreck at Pocono, but that was a freak accident.
Scary.
I mean, literally, that was a freak accident. The tire just came out of
even the safety walls. Even the. I don't know what did Senna run into. Was that a safety wall or was it just straight up like concrete?
He got hit by a piece of suspension.
He got hit by a piece of so even when they design it to be safe, I mean, you're still in danger. You're still talking about 150 miles an hour plus.
There's a track in Michigan where they go routinely over 200 miles an hour in stock cars, and I saw one guy hit the pit wall.
Yeah. So like the spine of it, did he hit it there or did he hit up against it?
You can look it up for yourself.
What is it?
Mark Martin, Michigan crash.
Mark Martin, he's a badass, right?
He was great.
Martin.
He retired for a couple of years.
I'm sorry, what course was it?
Michigan. He retired for a couple of years, then came back and won 5 races in a single year just because he could.
Okay, when did this happen?
It was in the
2012.
Yeah.
Okay, and is it the Aaron's car?
Oh, fuck me! It's the car that hit.
No fucking thank you, dude. Seriously. Okay, let me double check, see what we got here. Let me read the description to you, make sure we're on the right one. I mean, it does say scary crash. NASCAR driver Mark Martin is lucky to be alive after losing control and crashing into a pit wall. Here it is. All right, play.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta do screen share. Boobity boop. Boobity boop.
He was doing really well in this race.
Boobity boobity boop. My Chevy shook a sheet.
What the hell is wrong with you?
It's Jimmer.
You must have been the Aaron's car. I was just trying to remember who he drove for at that time. I'm pretty sure it was Michael Waltrip.
Okay, I got to restart the video because I wasn't sharing. All right, so we got right here. This is the car we're interested in. Clorox went out of control. He's fishtailed out. Here goes Mark Martin into the pit. Okay, so. Oh, wow. Okay, so not a bunch of flips and stuff. To me, it was more of an ominous crash. What could have happened?
See, that's the crash, but that's the crash that is actually deadly. Usually, flips dissipate a lot of energy. Unlike Greg Moore hit the
he hit the spine of the pit wall.
But the thing is, blunt force. I mean, that's how Earnhardt. That's why I keep saying the crash is a lot worse than it actually looked. Than it looked on TV, because I mean,
there's a lot of weird things like that when it comes to motorsport. Like especially in something where you get a lot of turns.
Okay.
If it looks slow, it's going fast.
Okay. Now,
or NASCAR, like a wreck like that, it doesn't look that bad, but you're right. That sudden stop, that's what's killing people.
Well, I mean, because you made me watch the Dale Earnhardt wreck after we watched it, and I was listening to Darrell Waltrip, and you could tell from his voice as soon as he saw the wreck, he knew Dale was dead.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
it doesn't look bad on TV. It doesn't look bad to you, but he's been in cars before. He knows exactly what.
It just doesn't look bad though. It looks like he tapped up against the wall.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
But he knew exactly what had happened because
it's not as dramatic looking, but when you think about it, dude's going 160 or something like that,
180,
and it comes to almost a complete stop. Like
now, if you want a dramatic crash, 2002 Steve Park Pocono.
All right, let me get it.
These are the traffic here. These are the traffic guardrails I told you about.
Steve Park Pocono
crash.
Okay.
That was a weird...
2002.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Pause. Make sure I'm sharing that shit.
I remember this so well.
Okay. Bear with me, and we are full screened. Here we go. All right. Who are we looking for here?
Number 1 car.
Back when TNT
number one in the
broadcast.
Yep.
What? Yeah. TNT used to be a really badass channel, man.
Yep. It's the number one in the 8 car that you're looking for. Steve Park and Dale Jr.
We're gonna look up the old Rusty Wallace crash for a dramatic one.
Well, yeah, this one's pretty dramatic. Have I showed you the Jeff Bodine, the truck crash where he flipped like 20 times?
Hold on, here we go. Here's the wreck. Yeah, that's bad. It looks bad. I mean,
yeah, it does, doesn't it? Once again, he's going up against traffic rails and shit.
Oof. Okay, let's get a replay here.
Yeah,
that was. Oh, Dale Jr. is running towards the car like, oh my God.
Well, that's his teammate.
Are you okay? That would be scary, dude. Seeing somebody you know really well crash like that.
Yeah, what happened was he missed his shift and in the start, and everyone's all bunched up at the start, and he missed his shift, and that was the result.
Oh, that's funny. He must have grabbed onto a steering wheel to get out to grab onto something. And the wheels moved.
Yeah. But see, that looks like a bad crash.
Well, we need to get a replay here.
They actually fixed Junior's car up, by the way. I think he finished 36th that day.
Okay, here's the replay. Let's get to it. Here we go. All right, we got Rusty. Was he still racing in 2002?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so Rusty hits the wall. Pennzoil.
No, that's
okay.
Park.
He's going sideways. Oh, yeah. See those old traffic, interstate highway rails. If they buckle while you're running into it, it could easily pierce your car and pierce you.
That's how JD McDuffie died. He flipped on a guardrail, and the guardrail basically.
Just real quick, audience. Just look how. See how it buckles? Look at that. If he was unlucky there, one of those things would have come all the way off, pierced his car, and then pierced him. But he's lucky, man.
Yep.
All right, so the Rusty Wallace one, where was that and what year?
Fuck, I don't remember. Just type in Rusty Wallace crash.
I think it was Talladega.
Yeah, I think so. But see, that was and by the way, Park emerged unscathed. But I mean, so it's the crashes where people.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one.
There was one really weird one where.
All right, so let me read the description first. Rusty Wallace flipping end over end at the finish of a Talladega race. The crash to remember for the ages. Okay, so I'm not a NASCAR guy, and if you're not a NASCAR guy out there listening or watching. It looks dramatic, and it looks scary, and it is. But like we were saying earlier, it's those sudden stop ones or the really deadly ones.
I'm not saying flips
this
can't
one
be
just.
I mean, it depends, but
I'm sure they can. Sure they can.
The energy dissipates when you flip.
Right.
Look at that.
Right. That makes sense. All right, so we're looking at that black car here towards the front. All right, he just dropped a couple positions, but. Just wait. This is one of the most dramatic crashes you'll ever see.
Oh, I got one that's even more.
No, I mean, we'll look it up.
I'm
just saying. I know that this one is horrific.
I'm trying to look it up myself just to remember what year it was. And
this one is horror movie horrific. Like, if you were a car and you watched this, you'd be scared. This would be a gore movie for you if you were a car. I think his engine even goes flying out. I think that might be this one. All right.
Okay.
So we're having to wait here a little while. That's okay. Let the tension build up.
I'm gonna send you something on Facebook.
Okay, here we go. Look at that. Goes airborne, and then just look at that. Yeah, that's a fucking wreck, man. The debris that came off of that car. Just shredded. That car is shredded. Wow. All right, here's the slow-mo. So what we got here is two cars touched in a corner. Nothing squirrely happening yet, but You know, once two cars touch in a corner like that, that kind of little squirrely stuff ends up, getting dramatic. And then that rear spoiler provided some lift, it looks like, because he ended up going backwards.
Yep.
Amazing. Gasoline and engine fluids just pouring out everywhere. Yeah, that's a gory wreck if you're a car.
I sent you another thing on Facebook.
You sent me another one?
Yeah.
You second?
Yeah. I remember that one when it happened live. But yes, if you're a car, that's a horrible wreck.
Okay, so let me go back to the beginning. Make sure I'm sharing. Elliot Sadler. Your full screen. Okay, I'm just going to watch. I'll commentate the replay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow, wow, wow. It just won't stop.
Nope.
Okay, again, that one was one of those where you have that sudden stop, right? We're not going end over end here. We're going straight into that motherfucking wall at 150.
Even more, probably.
I mean, who knows? 150 is plenty, right? I mean, we got an engine out on the fucking
probably
course.
Over 170.
All right, so we got number 2, got squirrely, hit the fucking wall, outside wall. Tires fucking fucked. Yeah, that front axle's totally fucked. Going sideways, tires falling off, wheels gone. And this car just won't stop. It just won't come to a rest.
No.
And, you know, he hits that other wall going extremely obnoxiously fast. They won't show that final impact, though. Come on, replay.
Probably because they're afraid he died.
Show that last impact. Come on. That's where the story's told in this crash. Oh man. Oh man. Lucky. He's lucky he didn't hit anything else really hard.
Yep.
He hit that inside retaining wall.
Yep.
And man, again, that's one of those walls that if it comes apart and you're hitting at the wrong angle, you're done.
I remember that interview. He was quite woozy afterwards.
What was that truck racing one?
2000 Daytona 250 crash.
Who was it?
It was Jeffrey Bodine. Oh. That was a crash where I thought he was, even though it was a flip,
Where was
I
it
thought
again?
he was dead. Just type in 2000 Daytona truck crash.
Jeff Bodine, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series crash.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
This is one of those
it's 16 minutes long.
Well, yeah, because
we'll find it. Hold on, let me go back to the list. I bet we can.
No,
Jeff
no.
Bodine. Okay.
Just,
no, I don't want to do 16 minutes. We got 2 minutes and 21 where the crash is already here. All right, so
you're not gonna see me. You didn't have to watch the whole fucking thing.
We got taped up truck here. He's already taped up, it looks like. I don't know if this is his truck we're looking at. So we got a safety car out on the track. All right, now we're getting into this wreck here. I'll commentate the replay. Oh, wow, fire. Oh, my God. Dude, that looks horrific. Oh, my God. Oh, dude, those bystanders engulfed in flames. Unbelievable wreck. Oh, my God, that's horrific. Okay, I'll do my best to commentate here in a second once I get a better angle. We're in a cockpit right now. Oh, he just goes airborne. That's so disturbing. Okay.
He had some injuries. I mean,
it's not just him though. There's multiple fucked up trucks here.
Yeah, but most of all the other guys were okay. I remember listening to the red flag.
Multiple trucks up in flames too.
and
Mm.
but he was.
I can't commentate it. It's too chaotic. It's
Okay. Put your mic. Play it again and put your microphone on the thing.
okay. I'm gonna restart it.
We'll have Marty Reed commentate.
At this hour, this race was supposed to be over at 1:30. Well, a 10-truck pileup on the tri-oval in which Jeffrey Bodine was injured with a fractured right cheekbone and a fractured right wrist, right elbow, big toe, and possible ankle fractures. And this is how it all happened, Benny Parsons.
About the 6th or 7th place there. There's Jeffrey Bodine, bam, in the outside retaining wall, and watch as he tumbles down the straightaway. Now, again, right, another truck is going to come along and hit him. Here, watch and listen.
Jesus. Oh, my God. Wow.
From Jeffrey Bodine's onboard. Listen.
Airborne. Wow.
One more angle. Then the green car goes down. He and Kurt Busch go up and they touch the 46 of Rob Morgan in.
Oh my God.
The truck comes totally apart. You'll see the motor flying off there on the left upper portion of your screen. It ended up about 300 feet further down the track. One more view. Look how high you got.
I've been around this sport since 1960, and I've never seen that a vehicle was torn up that bad. There's Jeffrey Bodine after he was taken out of the truck trying to get the oxygen mask off as he's taken it down.
Benny, just a terrible crash, but all of the safety equipment mandated by NASCAR, the rollover cage, the
one more lap
proof equipment, and the catch fence did its job.
Let's also update you. It was multiple fractures, but he's alert and conscious over at Halifax Medical Center. He's going to make a full recovery. Jimmy Kitchens was transported as a precautionary move. Now, there were also 5 spectators that were transported to Halifax. They are in stable condition. 4 other spectators were treated and released from the infield care center. So that is the complete update as you now have it. With this yellow flag situation, you had the option of taking tires.
Seriously.
How amazing. How
Seriously?
Amazing.
Wow. Wow. Like, that is wow.
I think that needed sound just to capture.
Yeah. Once you hear the tires squeaking and the sound of the impact, yeah, it was actually made it horrific. Especially when you're in Bodine's cockpit view.
Yeah.
When you hear that smack of metal on metal and he goes airborne, yeah, that's scary.
And then just to think, I mean, yeah, he had several broken bones, but
can you imagine? I was thinking having your cheekbone just crushed. How awful that would be.
And you know how many races he missed?
Oh, all of them?
You know how many races? 10.
Oh, wow.
He was back by May.
That's ballsy.
He was
ballsy.
back by May.
And not only just for the fact you were back by May, but also that you really have no chance of winning now. Like, you've missed 10 races.
Well, he never really had a chance because he was in a shit car, but he did have some good top 10 finishes. I mean, you
still got this is I imagine this is a sport where you have to at least show up to work, right? You got to make a showing.
Well, I mean, you know, he was old. He was about 51 or so. So he was kind of past his.
Let's do a couple more crashes, and then we'll move on. And I see one here that looks horrific. Michael Waltrip crash at Bristol.
Oh, I remember this one, yeah.
Hold on, let me make sure everything's on the up and up.
Just, I mean, the only other guy that was taken to the hospital was Jimmy Kitchens, and he was okay. I mean,
I don't know if anybody noticed, but the spectators who were next to that crash got destroyed. Debris just flew right at them. It was like a grenade went off. Yes. Yeah, but they got fucked up. I mean, two or three of the guys who were standing there got engulfed in flames.
Yeah, but I saw a race in '98, the Michigan 500, where 3 spectators were killed because a tire
I
came
can
off
imagine.
one of the cars, which
imagine.
you could see coming because he had problems in the pit stop about 5 minutes before. Problems getting the tire on, and then literally 5 minutes later, it was off.
Bam!
It killed
right,
3 spectators.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do this one and another crash. And the way I'm going to do it is, and then this is the way I'm going to do it from now on. We're going to listen. We're just going to watch with it muted. I'll do my best to commentate, and then we're going to do another round of it with the actual broadcast. All right?
Go.
And I'm pretty sure we're going to get a strike on this, too, because this is a NASCAR official video.
I don't give a shit.
All right, so we just got a completely dilapidated, fucked up, mangled metal mess, and it looks like he's dead. I mean, the steering wheel is sticking out of the side of the car, and I'm not shitting. The dudes are just ripping the car apart to get to the man. Unbelievable wreck. I mean, part of his car is back at the wall he hit, and it's smoking. Just some debris is stuck up against this traffic style retainer. All right, so we got the oh my god, this is one of those sudden impact things. All right, he's not flipping end over end. He hit sideways really hard.
Yep.
I can't wait to see this full replay. His car's completely destroyed.
Yep.
And it happened in like a second.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at that, guys. I mean, and he's out. He looks like he's about to cry. I would. I'd be crying like a little bitch.
Yeah.
I know I would. I'm never going to race again. And then my mommy.
Yeah, but you do that. Yeah, but you do that all the time, Scotty.
Yeah, I do. I like my mommy.
Okay.
Okay. Can't have any fun. Can't have any fun.
Yes, you can, but I can make fun.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, I've had enough of this talking. Let's get to the replay.
Well, okay, but we're going to listen to the talking.
We're just doing the visual thing now, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
I mean, they're loading up this wreckage, and it looks like the Pentagon on 9/11. I mean, it's that bad. Jesus. All right, so here's the full replay of it. Okay, so, I mean, God damn. Like, all you really see is his car going up to the wall, and he hits, and his car comes to a complete stop.
Yep.
And just disintegrates.
Yep.
Like, it is a very strange looking crash. All right, so this is 3 minutes and 57 seconds worth of commentary. So here we go.
Enjoy.
Pontiac.
Bad crash over in turn 2. Michael Waltrip has hit the wall hard. The car is upside down, and you can see the car is really torn up. Well, Jerry, I said it's sort of on the side, or boy, yes, it is upside down.
Michael Waltrip in his car and having hard contact out of turn 2. We'll check in to see what's going on. The safety crews over at turn 2 after this hard contact with the guardrail. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this. Michael Waltrip's car begins to slip and slide on the outside and contacts the concrete wall nearly head on. The car is sawed in half by that concrete barrier there. One of the most spectacular and violent crashes I have ever seen, Jarrett.
Jerry, I've been involved in auto racing for more than 30 years, and I don't remember ever seeing a car torn up this much.
The safety crews have run over the car.
by the way, he said that in the last video we watched. Exactly the same thing.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
It's a different guy.
What an unbelievable crash that your little brother Michael had.
Just praise God, Benny's alive. I was standing looking right at it, and I couldn't move. I mean, I just froze. I never seen anything like that in my life. The car just disintegrated, and I knew he was in it. No, I thought he was hurt. I walked up there, and the car is gone. Everything's gone, and the roll cage is all bowed up.
Shit, he is about to cry.
Mom, Dad, he's a Walter. He's got a pretty hard head.
And I'll tell you what, a testimony to the way these automobiles are built.
Certainly, Dad, of course, this Banjo Matthews car put together for Ronnie Silver a few years ago. The roll cage was intact, and there is Michael Waltrip now standing up, climbing out from around that shredded, mangled mass of sheet metal that was a Pontiac Grand Prix just a few moments ago. Michael now walking over to try to get into the safety car. And take a look at this, Ned.
There's nothing left of the automobile, and yet the man has walked away from it. However, it has been taken to the infield hospital, but look, they're just picking the car up by pieces.
Well, Benny Parsons standing outside the infield care center where they have been checking Michael Waltrip over. Let's go down to Benny Parsons and see just exactly how Michael's feeling.
Mikey?
Yeah, Ben, I think I'm all right. Got some contusions and a little bit of confusion, but that's probably not too unusual. Can't really tell you what happened. I know that we got spun out earlier and then was passing Robert Preston on the outside, best I remembered. He ran us up into the wall. But tell Mom and Dad, Daddy's not doing too good either, but I think I'm all right. And, we'll go home and get a good night's rest tonight and try to figure out somebody to help us get through those 500 laps tomorrow.
Well, you need to rest up because, baby, let me tell you, you ain't going to believe the pictures you're going to see when you see that.
Yeah, hope we did a good job for Kool-Aid anyway. That's the first thing.
Well, Jerry, he's got to be okay. He gets his sponsor's name in there.
They're fixing up that gate where Michael hit over there. Let's take a look one more time and give that Kool-Aid man on the hood of that Pontiac a wild ride. Just coming out of turn 2. That's the crossover gate, and Michael hits the junction of the gate and the concrete wall that begins the back straightaway. The car is literally sawed open. You see the steering wheel now sticking out to the left side of the car, and this is what's left of Michael Waltrip's Kool-Aid Country Time Pontiac. Michael Waltrip, lucky here, a great race car. He is waving to the crowd, headed to the infield hospital.
Wow. Seriously.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, the guy who said that was Ned Jarrett in the second video, not Benny Parsons.
Yeah, but they said it exactly the same.
Well, yeah, but it was a different guy. The guy who said it the first time was actually doing the interviews. And second of all, well, the reason he's about to crash, that was his brother Daryl.
Yeah, I understand that. I know.
If your brother was in that crash or whatever.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, you know, these guys probably are around it more, so he's probably just talking like it's nothing. But yeah, he was about to cry.
Well,
all right, so we're gonna do one more, and go ahead and tell me. I guess I can just pick one.
No, let me think. Well, give me some suggestions on this on the YouTube suggestion page.
Okay. Mark Martin flies into the infield, 94.
Nah.
Budweiser at the Glen, JD. There's an ambulance on the course.
That's not a dramatic crash. That's just depressing.
Okay, we got
yes, you know.
Compilations. Dan Weldon, Fatal.
No, we've seen that. I don't need to see that again. Let me think, fucker.
You just told me to give you suggestions.
I know. I'm just.
But there's an F1 crash I remember where the guy went sideways and came to a stop sideways, and a car came and hit him perpendicular and just sawed the car in half. Do you remember what I'm talking about? It's just I'm recalling this from memory, and it was just terrific. I just remember it being really scary.
Right. I've seen that many times. Let's do an IndyCar crash.
Okay.
Let's type in IndyCar crash YouTube. See what comes up.
Good job.
Because we've done NASCAR.
We've done it to death, haven't we? Hey,
yeah.
Jay Howard and Scott Dixon.
Yeah, we saw that last time. That was the one where Jay Howard tried to blame Hunter Ray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I just found the one I was just talking about, but we
Which
got
one?
that's a compilation. I don't know exactly. I just see the picture and it looks familiar. We got a Indy 500 Scott Dixon crash.
Seen it. Yeah,
same one.
Seen it.
I'm just looking for ones with names.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Okay, you're just gonna have to think of one because these are all compilations.
Okay, let me just.
Alex Zanardi,
I don't know-
2001.
I don't know if you've seen that one. He lost his legs in that one. It's not really
Shall we
spectacular.
watch? It looks
Yeah.
spectacular. I mean, there's just metal and shit flying everywhere. Let's watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So this is in
All right.
Germany on an oval, and
Okay.
he's coming out of the pits.
All right. So we're gonna do visual first.
He's
Just soak it in visually.
He's coming out of the pits. 13 laps to go.
Smoking them tires a little bit. Braking. Okay. Now he's just coming out of the pits, like he's supposed to. I'm sure.
I never understood what happens here.
All right. So he's taking the pit.
I have never understood what happens here. He just kind of
crashes, huh?
loses control and then commentate, fucker.
I'm just watching.
So,
Oh, okay. So there's not much to. Oh my God! Wow, just like a fucking, one mosquito flying one way and another mosquito came flying perpendicular and just.
I think he somehow lost control.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just cuts to him out of control, so I can't tell.
That's the problem. I think he just loses because
Maybe they have a better angle. Maybe
I don't understand. I don't understand what happened.
Well, maybe they have a better angle.
I'm just saying. I've never understood what happened here.
Maybe it was just a muscle spasm or something. I mean,
Cold tires.
It could be a lot of things.
Cold tires, maybe. I mean, he just gotten out of the pits, so.
Could you imagine? Maybe. Can you imagine like getting a really bad cramp?
No, that wasn't it.
While driving this fast, I mean, just imagine how scary that would be.
I think it was basically he was on cold tires and he tried to
push it a little too hard.
Yeah, and he lost his legs on that one, but he still competes and shit.
All right.
He's a Paralympic athlete.
Okay, so no, we do not get another angle of this.
No, they don't, because they're afraid he's dead. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and
let's forget about this one. I have one to show you.
All right, this is the last one because we got more topics to move on to, and we're way off course.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck you.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the fucker's name. 1981 Michigan 500 fire. It's not so much a crash, just a really bad fire.
Okay, 1981 kart, Michigan 500, Herm Johnson pit fire.
Herm Johnson. That's it. Herm Johnson. It? Yeah. I'm just trying to remember the fucker's name. Just what?
Well, this one is 15 minutes long. I don't want to do that. I'll just use it and I'll skip. Okay. We'll skip around. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and you're going to get audio and visual.
Yeah.
Johnson was in for.
Here we go.
Go.
We have a fire in Herm Johnson's pit. It started when he was fueling and it spread behind the wall. Johnson was in for a regular refuel and then suddenly the car burst into flame and now they have a fire that is burning all around the fuel tank in Herm Johnson's pit. We had some crew members suffering some slight injury. We don't have any indication as to their injury. It did not look as if Johnson was injured, but look at this tremendous fire as the entire pit goes up. They have been trying to fight it now for almost a minute. There was an explosion. An explosion as one of the tanks went. Apparently Herm Johnson's tank let go at the front. Now most of the people moved away, but an explosion in the pits as Herm Johnson's tank did catch fire and a tire let go. We don't
don't know if the explosion was the result of a tire or is the tank. The tank looks to be intact. They have done everything they can to keep the fire from spreading. The scoring stand is what is actually showing the most fire, though you can't see an alcohol fire, and there is no telling where else there might be fire burning. That white smoke that you're seeing is the Purple K powder that they use to fight the fire.
And in reality, it smothers the fire, draws the oxygen out, and this is something that they've always been afraid of wherever championship cars run.
Now they have closed the pits as a result of this fire. The pits are completely blocked. The cars will have to stay on the course. That brings the question. If I didn't bring my car in for a stop, what happens to me if I run out of fuel on the racetrack? I can't get to my pit. They continue to fight this fire. This has been what they have been afraid of in all of IndyCar racing for so long. A major fire in the pits. They're now bringing in heavy apparatus, big fire trucks coming in. Let's go down to Bruce Jenner, who's on the scene.
Down here in the pits right now, pandemonium has just broke out. It looks like his pit has completely gone up, and the fire tanks, or the tanks are on fire right now. They're trying to put it out. They've got about 4 or 5 units. A lot of people working around there, but it's a lot of pandemonium. Everybody's just sort of clearing out of the area and trying to see what happens. But right now, it's a terrible sight from down here. Charlie?
All right, Bruce, it seems as if they may have it a little under control, but it is still burning. Let's go back moments ago to how it started. Now let's go down to Gary.
Here's Herm Johnson. Herm, I know you're walking in to get some emergency attention. Any idea what happened on that stop?
I just saw a fuel spill and it flared up and it was just burning. And
We got to go, Gary.
we got a couple a lot hurt worse than me.
All right, thank you, Herm Johnson. They're taking him in for some emergency aid at this point. He seems to be all right. He has some superficial burns.
Okay, I think that's good enough. What was saying, Fred?
And we'll try to
Okay, we get the point. Okay. When he was on fire, the way he was jumping around, I've seen that before in immolation videos. That dude was close to dying. Like, he said he had superficial burns, so he was just starting to lose that protection from his fire suit.
Well, I mean, you're also jumping around because you can't see it, because methanol burns with an invisible flame. You can see it at night, but during the daytime,
oh man, that's crazy. That's scary.
So there was an incident where Jim McKay of Wide World of Sports was accidentally had methanol spill on him and was starting to burn, and Jackie Stewart basically tackled him, and because he saw the saw the signs, but you couldn't see anything. So that's the really scary part. Not just the fire, but the fact that you can't see it.
So they just go fucking spray and pray, don't they?
Yeah, pretty much. Crazy, I love the call, by the way. And there's a fire in Herm Johnson's pit. That's how you should commentate everything.
The dude that they went to had that really nasally white guy voice. It kind of cracked me up a little bit.
Which one?
I don't remember his name. No, the guy down on the track, who they went to kind of give a better perspective on things.
Well, it was Paul Page.
Guys, I see a fire going on over there in the pit. Yep.
Bruce Jenner was the pit reporter.
Yeah, Bruce Jenner, that guy.
But Paul Page also has a pretty nasally voice.
I like that. That kind of voice exists in racing and golf. Well, guys,
and occasionally news. But yeah, Paul Page has a very kind of nasally. Welcome to IndyCar racing. That sort of, yeah. He is a great.
Yeah. What we got here is a terrible crash, everybody.
A terrible crash.
And what we have here is a terrible crash.
I'm a big fan of Paul Page. He actually, my problem with, and I know this is off topic, but we've gone off topic, so fuck it.
Yeah, we're way off topic now.
My problem with a lot of racing announcers today on TV is they won't commentate enough. Oh,
yeah, they seem to be talking about other kinds of shit.
No. If they mention something, whoa, solder was way up high, rather than I was watching an incident with Paul Page, and he locks the brakes big time. Here it comes going around him. Like, he actually commentated like he was commentating for a radio audience, which you need to do on TV.
Well, hell yeah. It makes it more interesting and engaging.
Right. I was watching an Xfinity race the other day, and literally the commentary was, whoa, that could have been a big one.
Okay,
What happened?
You're going to have to fly solo here for a second, Elliot, because I need to go get a drink. Go ahead and finish up, but then we're going to move on to music. Okay.
He's going to get crack and whiskey. He's going to mix them up, and he likes to call it crack whiskey. He thinks it's really good. I think it's tastes like shit, but hey, that's just my opinion. So I hope you're going to be watching the Pomona, the NHRA Auto Club of Southern California Finals. I think it's still called that at Pomona Raceway. Auto Club Raceway, on Sunday. And we will do another of these episodes whenever the hell we can. As Scott has left me completely solo because he's a bastard and an asshole. He's a bastard asshole. That's just who he is. I'm still Elliot Lindemood, your not very proud host of this shitstorm we call a radio show.
All right, I'm back. Sorry to cut you off. What were you saying?
And the things and sorry, what? Huh? Oh.
And the Satan and the goats and the fire and the Judas of the Iscariot and the
He doesn't even know what he's saying.
I have no idea what I'm saying. I just
music.
I don't know.
Music.
So, music has gotten me into nothing but trouble while driving, to be honest with you. Because it just makes it more fun. It gives you more balls, gives you more confidence. When you're driving for some reason, like if you're listening to some like speed metal or thrash or even some just regular hard rock stuff, you get just pumped up. Like, I could take this corner, or all of a sudden you're going 20 or 30 miles over the speed limit, and you get pulled over. And yeah, I actually tried blaming metal for my speeding one time to a cop, and he's just like, yeah, how about you turn it down and then slow it down? Like, he said it like it was a movie, like he was fucking Charles Bronson or something. How about you turn it down and then slow it down? Like, oh my god, oh my god, we just got the most badass traffic cop in the world right here.
So personally, when I do road, very few people in my family actually, nobody likes my music. So during road trips, we pretty much read audiobooks or listen to podcasts, like the Swine Brothers show, available for on the go. Download it and listen to it on the road.
That's what you do.
Don't do that. You'll probably want to kill everyone around you.
Yeah, we'll inspire you to like just sideswipe some asshole that cut you off earlier. Well, these guys sound like chaos is fun. I'm going to cause some right now. Swipe! Yay! I'm flipping end over end.
Well, I didn't mean to kill that guy. It's just Swine Brother. How about you turn it down and then not kill people?
How about you turn it down and then slow it down? Oh my god, I'm gonna die. This cop is gonna shoot me.
He fucking pulls out a fully automatic. Now dance, bitch.
Unloads the magazine, reloads, unloads it again. He was coming right at me, Chief. Chief, he was coming right at me with that lip of his. I couldn't let it stand. Couldn't let him free. He is a danger to himself and society.
So I stole his car,
which was full of bullet holes and blood.
So So
Blood. Fucking blood.
blood.
Chief, I told him to turn it down and then slow it down, and he just giggled. So I shot him 60 times.
Well, we were joking about there's a you know those rich guys on Harleys.
Yeah.
And we were just like, because they're names that the outlaw bikers or the true Harley riders called, and one of them is Bastards, which is bought a Sportster, therefore a radical dude, and Hoots have one order, true story. And I was thinking, well, Hoots and Bastard sounds like a police drama, and that could be the first episode.
It does.
Bastard, what'd you do that for?
Hoots and Bastard. New Jersey State Patrolman.
Oh my god!
Hoots and Bastard.
Hoots
Irish, the Irish cops
from New Jersey.
From New Jersey, not Boston. New Jersey.
Oh my god, that needs anyway. So I often listen to podcasts and music. Fucking, I can't. Audiobooks.
No, something interesting. Like, how do you think it came about to put music into an automobile? Like, we need. It first started
out as not music. It first started out as a public information thing. They had basically public information channels in case something happened. That was why they put radios in the cars.
Right.
And then music. Well,
I've seen cars where you actually put the record in the car, like a CD fucking player. I've seen that before.
Yeah, CD players are pretty standard. Well, we're standard on cars. Tape players as well.
No, I'm talking a vinyl record player inside of a car,
because it would just skip.
Well, I remember seeing it on some kind of old car.
I saw it on Pimp My Ride once, and I thought that was the fucking stupidest idea I've ever seen.
That show was stupid. I hated that show. Pimp My Ride, bitch.
I watched it when I was like 8 because it was about cars.
Yeah, well, true. But yeah, music while you're driving.
When you're 8,
Pimp My Ride is the shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, but when you're 8, you'll watch anything that has to do with cars.
Right. You will. You're right.
But yes, it was shit. It's like there was a guy on the show. I remember he got his car broken into 6 times. Right? It was a piece of junk, so they put a TV in it. Great. Now I'm going to break into it again.
Yeah, I'm going to steal it again, and just I'm not going to steal the car anymore. Just keep putting shit in it.
But like the thing about Pimp My Ride that I never like, they put like TVs and DVD players and fucking ice machines. It's like, okay.
Well, at one point in the early 2000s when that show was running,
no.
the early 2000s were a weird time in history. It's like we had to be the future, and it was so embarrassing, right? It was like.
It was a repeat. It was a repeat of the early 80s. I don't know if you know, but like the early 80s was another technological. They had like cars that would say hello to you.
Right. Well, the 80s though has a kind of cool factor about it. The early 2000s have a very like. I just don't like it.
I wonder
when I think about the early 2000s, I think about rap videos and. Rap videos. Like,
in all seriousness, Scott, I wonder if people will look back on the early 2000s as you do on the early 80s and say, well, yeah, but they have a kind of cool fact, like have a kind of.
I'm sure they will,
because I'm sure people in the 80s were going, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, well, I'm sure they will, but to me, it just always seemed like a really bizarre time in our history. Like, there's just something off about it.
Great racing, though. Great racing back then.
Well, there's a lot of great things that were happening, but I don't know. My memories of that time where it makes me feel awkward.
My memories of that time were rap and new metal.
Yeah, exactly. Or that.
And then Then about a year later, the Green Day and pop punk thing really took off.
Yeah, exactly.
Blink
Just
182, Green Day.
Dude, that Blink 182 dude is crazy. I saw him on Rogan's podcast not too long ago, and he's crazy. Like you have to see that and just listen to him.
I showed
aliens and shit.
I showed you what punk was supposed to be last night with Big Black.
Yeah, that's a good band.
That's what punk is. Punk is not 3-part harmonies about girls. It's literally singing about the dark side of.
When we get off of here, I have to show you this interview with him.
Send it to me on
he's insane. He's insane.
Send it to me on Facebook so I can hear it with clear audio.
Well, of course.
Because your microphone is shite.
Yeah, it is. I think this topic is not as good of a topic as it sounds. So let's just move on.
That's what we're doing.
Actually, you know what? I'm done. I am tired. I am falling asleep. So what we're going to do is say...
Wait. Last topic. What do you listen to music before you go to sleep?
Before I go to sleep? If I listen to music, it's a smodge podge. It's whatever I'm in the mood for.
You should listen to fucking Big Black before you go to sleep. See what your dreams are like.
Probably Sheet Metal Factory.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna end it here and bye.
And what we're gonna do?
What
we're gonna do is say that we're gonna be back on like tomorrow, the next day, but then a week from now we'll be like, hey, what's up?
We'll be back on at a future date, whenever Scotty wants to.
We'll be back tomorrow or not. So
this has been the Swine Brothers. This has been the Swine Brothers Show, Overdrive, episode 2, for November 7th, 2017.
And just remember, guys, the listeners out there, you got to turn it down and then slow it down.
Turn it up and speed it up.
Turn it up.
You can email us at Cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brothers and Twitter is SwineBros666. Yeah.
My email is edgyedgexxlord6066 at gmail.x/edge.com.
For the Edgelord, Scott Vogler.
Goodbye, folks.
I'm Elliot Lindenberg.
That's it. You just gotta go now. You just have to leave now. Goodbye, you fucking mokes. Just bye.